So the film Outcome is directed by Jonah Hill, and it's about fictitious actor Reef Hawke, who is played by Keanu Reeves. Reef has been away from the world for 5 years, dealing with drug addiction, and has been clean for 5 years. He coming back out to the public eye, only to find that a video of his in the past has been resurfaced and is being extorted for money. There are some decent performances, but overall, this film really doesn't hit with me at all. I do find that some of the emotional scenes of Reef going to visit the people in his past were actually quite good, but ultimately that wasn't enough to get me. Keanu Reeves seemed to be stumbling through his words after having played John Wick for about 5, 10 years, has forgotten how to speak. It all seemed a bit clunky and all a bit sort of slapped together to make one film. Ultimately, I gave this film about 1 star. Film starts off with Reef Hawke talking to his childhood friends Kyle, played by Cameron Diaz, and Xander, played by Matt Boomer. And he is returning to the public eye and is basically talking to them and asking their advice of what he should do and how he should act and what he should say and so on. And they basically advise him to try not to give too many details away of why he's been gone for 5 years and his drug addiction issues, and to not go into too much graphic detail, whereas he wants to bear all and tell the world what's been happening. And the film is essentially about him returning to his past and talking to the people that he's been a part of his life. And that's when he gets a call about the video that has resurfaced and that somebody is extorting him for money for this video to quietly go under the rug and sweep it clear from the public consciousness. And so he goes and revisits all the people that he has been involved with in his past, from old managers, old friends, and other castmates and so on. And so it's kind of an apology tour, as they call it in the film. And so he goes to all these people and bares his soul and apologizes, even apologizes to his mother as well. And it's about him trying to reclaim his life and return to the public eye on a clean slate and go back to work and hopefully start making movies again. So the issue I have with this film is that all the characters that Reef Hawke comes into contact are the most despicable, abhorrent people ever to exist, and giving him all sorts of wrong advice and misinformation and just really suffocating him in such awful ways, not physically or anything like that, but mentally suffocating him. And he's trying to hold on the best he can. And you could tell they're all in it for themselves. They're not wanting to help him at all. They just want to keep this money train coming in and keep roofs over their head. And it is just awful characters. And yes, they do sort of redeem themselves, but it was way later in the film as well. And so it's a little bit too late for me. And when you deal with these types of awful characters, you want to have some good qualities with them, but they just don't have any good qualities at all. And it's just really frustrating when you watch it. Also, Ira, Jonah Hill's character, the lawyer, is the worst of them all. And he just a massive ego trip on his part. He seems to have given himself all the best lines, all the best speeches. And when he's in the crisis meeting with all the other lawyers, he's in it for himself, and he wants to protect not only his client, but also his firm. And you could see it in Keanu Reeves' face. You can see it in the character's face. What is he doing here? What is going on? It's just, some of the characters in this are just awful, terrible, terrible people. No likable qualities at all. And as an audience member, you sort of want to be empathetic to these awful characters. You want to have a reason why they are as they are, but you don't get any of that in this film. They're just generally terribly written characters, terrible personalities, awful. Also, I find that Keanu Reeves very much stumbles and fumbles his lines and really has to think hard about every piece of dialogue that he's trying to say. He's worse than Shatner. The pauses between lines and paragraphs it just takes so much time to get his words out. And he's stumbling around the scenes like he's a lost child walking around with no direction or where to go, which is bad on Jonah's part because it's just so painful to watch when you're so confident in the action side of films like John Wick, for example, where he's so competent in those stunts and in those fight sequences. Whereas when he's doing more sort of dramatic stuff, it's really painful to watch because he's having to really sort of, you can see the cogs turning in his head as he's trying to say the lines and trying to say the dialogue. It's really awkward and clunky, and he just takes too much time. It doesn't feel natural to him whatsoever. So I feel like Keanu Reeves was wildly undercast in this film. So considering like the film is based on a movie star, I just feel like if they should have had somebody that wasn't as famous as Keanu Reeves. I feel like if they had sort of a sort of lesser unknown character who was more suited to dramatic type roles, I think would have worked a bit better. But in this instance, it didn't work. There were, like I said, a couple of scenes that did work when he was on that apology tour, like I said, but ultimately it wasn't enough to really get me. And I think this was a total disaster of a film from Jonah Hill and not the right way to make the transition from actor to director. Yes, he would have worked with some of the best directors like Martin Scorsese. He's in this film and he's actually quite good. There was one of those scenes that I actually quite liked between his character Red and Reef Hawke, Keanu Reeves' character. His reconciliation was really good and worked really well. But again, ultimately, it's only few minor moments in the film that got me, but not enough. Yeah, I just really didn't enjoy it at all. Let me know what you guys think of the film. Let me know what you guys would think if somebody else was in the role and if it wasn't Keanu Reeves, who else would you pick as Reef Hawke? So let me know what you think of the film. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel, and I shall see you in the next video.